Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown. The three, steps back, crossover, puts up a three. Rebound James. Second. It's over. It's over. Cleveland is a city of champions once again. The Cavaliers are NBA champions.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Good evening, Cavs fans. Welcome to another edition of The Block, the Shot, the Stop, a Blue Wire podcast where we are just dads talking Cavs. I am Tim Daniel. Joining me for the second night in a row, Skylar Webker. And Skylar, we have finally hit the Allstar Break. We've made it.
Yeah, we're here, and we are 44-10,
45 and 10.
45 and 10. I think what was our record last year? I think we finished 44, 45 last year.
We pulled the basketball reference real quick, but I think you're right because now I have to know because you said something. So, I'm sorry. No, you're right. That was 44 and 10. I am a doofus. So last year they were 48 and 34.
Gotcha. 48 and 34.
So pretty good.
Yeah, I would say pretty good.
So not only that, we're finally done playing the Toronto Raptors this year. I feel like they played the Raptors a million times because that's who they started the season with. Then they played them. They're one of the non-divisional Eastern Conference teams you played 4 times. So tonight, the Cavaliers get a 131-108 victory at the Scotiabank Center. And it ends with Tristan Thompson getting booed for putting up a last-second dunk. And this is super Major League Baseball of the situation here. Because Austin Carr even mentioned, like, unwritten rules and all this stuff in the broadcast. And it's like, come on. Like, first things first. Okay, I'll ask where you're at on this. Because my thought process on it, simply put, is like, hey, you're the team that was down 21 points when he dunked, all right? Like, if you don't like it, play better.
Yeah, I mean, if Tristan Thompson is getting to the game, usually means, Kenny Atkinson has pulled back the dogs.
Right. So,
I don't know. I mean, are there, like, contract incentives?
That's
like,
true.
I don't know.
That's
I don't
true.
know.
He plays so little.
Does
he get like $2,500 every point he scores?
Well, I'm trying to see. Maybe he's trying to send a signal to Cavs front office, like, "Hey, let me be the 14th guy on your roster." Or no, he is a 14th guy because he's not a two-way, so he's already on the roster.
You have me curious now. I'm gonna see what his incentives are for his contract.
I doubt he has any, like.
Yeah, I'd say if at all, because he's making
this early.
He's making the vet minimum. So no, he's making more than the vet minimum. Oh my God, he's making a little over two mil, which is not a ton, obviously, but for NBA. No, his current status is 1 year, $3 million contract. So I'm sorry. No, I'm wrong again. 1 year, $2,087,519. He is 1% of the Cavs cap and does not have any incentives.
So he was just doing it to show off.
Yeah. So awesome. I forgot he made $17,000 playing for the Lakers in the playoffs a couple years ago.
It's wild.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I do like, I know you said it a little while back, but I kind of like the idea that he could be the Udonis Haslem of the Cavs, just ride the bench, sign vet minimums. Get
your jersey retired one day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're probably not going to put a statue up, but get your jersey retired is still fun.
Yeah. Hopefully, Udonis Haslem does not get a statue in Miami. I hope that's, but the way things go there. But first half, obviously Cleveland just kind of dominates in this one, taking a 25-point lead into the half. And it was so awesome to watch because it wasn't the usual suspects. It wasn't the core four, although they were playing well. It was the first half was like all basically, I shouldn't say all, but majority Strus and Merrill. And the first quarter, they have a 41-17 lead at the end of the quarter. Every quarter after that was very close, but this game was basically in the bags come this point. So tonight we get Donovan Mitchell leads the team with 21 points, and DeAndre Hunter has 18. So where should we start? Where do you want to start in individual performances tonight?
I want to start with Hunter. because the second game with the Cavs, not starting in this game, kind of when they made the trade, we're always like, all right, is he going to start? Is he going to be a sixth man? Is he what? And then kind of curious, like getting into the flow, the Cavs flow, the Kenny Atkinson flow, like how quickly they're able to assimilate. And it seems like he stepped in and has assimilated fairly well. Like he knows his role in here. And I think the Cavs free flowing offense really helps that. I don't know. He seems like a guy that doesn't wear his emotions on the face, but he's pretty happy to be here instead of Atlanta.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, when he was like sitting in the corner and they actually had the ball thrown to him, he's probably like, whoa.
The ball thrown to him, and it's not like a last second.
Yeah, there's not 4 seconds left in the shot clock, and then the ball goes to his hands.
Right.
Oh god, we're gonna get all the Trae Young people mad at us.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
How do you pad assists? And it's like, well, you hold the ball until there's 2 seconds left, and then you just huck it to somebody and hope that they make it.
I always make this joke about Rajon Rondo, where I always believe that Rajon Rondo counted assists in his head during a game. So he would like dish it, and someone would be like 1, 2, and I think Trae Young does the same thing.
Yeah, he absolutely does.
But yeah, your point about Hunter. What was really nice about it was that it was like he just went off in the second half. Like he was really, really awesome in the second half, as this game was like significantly closer the rest of the way after the first quarter by quarter. But the Cavs obviously had taken care of business at that point. But 18 points, 5 rebounds tonight, 4 of 9 from 3. You kind of mentioned the ability to be in this free flowing offense where everything kind of comes a little easier. The ball's not stopped. And it's just consistently moving, and he fits so well with that. And you saw it tonight. I mean, he was also moving the ball really well. I know he didn't have a ton of assists by any means, but I thought tonight, was awesome. The only thing that's disappointing about the Allstar break is that he doesn't have a lot more time to kind of be comfortable before they start playing again late next week. But
yeah,
overall, first 2 games, very happy with this performance so far.
I agree. I mean, I think the All-Star, the scheduling for the deadline and the All-Star games feels super weird.
I kind of agree with what Steve Kerr said last week.
What did he say? I missed it.
He said the trade deadline should be during the All-Star break.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I feel like that would make the All-Star game and everything a little more exciting.
Like when Boogie got traded to New Orleans and the All-Star game was in New Orleans and got traded during the All-Star game.
Yeah, I remember that.
Was told during the press conference, he was like, man, New Orleans is great. I love it here.
And they're like, well,
we'll enjoy it. Don't come back to Sacramento.
Yeah, that's when he was with the Kings. So yeah, I don't know. Like the offense feels so good because it's not any player centric at all. Mm-hmm. These guys, it feels like these guys know, like there's so much confidence, not only with Kenny and the coaching staff, but like the fellow teammates of like, not just Donovan Mitchell has to score, not just Darius Garland has to score, not just Evan Mobley has to score. Like anybody on this team is able to contribute and in any sense, it's not like the old days of, LeBron or, even Kyrie, or, you see it around the league where it's like such a, Denver's a great example where it's like the entire offense is centered around one player.
Right.
And that's not what Kenny has instilled in these guys. And I mean, they look impossible to beat whenever they're playing like this. Granted, it's Toronto.
Sure. But I mean, like I say, every time we bring up who the opponent is, their jersey also has an NBA patch on it. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Play the games that you're scheduled.
Right. You can't control that part. So, yeah, man, I thought today was really, really nice from Hunter. Really want to give him a shout out there. Mobley and Allen today, both huge, both double doubles. Mobley 12 and 15, Allen 13 and 10. And then they both combined for 8 assists and 4 blocks. Great game for them. But Skylar, here's what the most important part of this conversation is. Jared Allen shot a 3 tonight.
He did. We've only seen that one other time this season. And it was in another, blowout fashion.
So That was awesome. Mobley tonight, 4 offensive rebounds. Did have 5 fouls, but he was just being a little aggressive. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing. And Toronto, though their record doesn't show it, they are playing for pride. I do think that they should be in the Cooper Flag race. But
I'm really mad I didn't patent capture the flag because I've heard it on like 4 podcasts now.
Yeah, I think Bill Simmons took it too.
Yeah, sure.
But I mean, it's a team that got quickly, which a good NBA player. They traded for Brandon Ingram and then inked him to an extension. So it's a team that seems like they have a direction, but their direction for the rest of this season should be tank and tank hard.
Yes, absolutely. So right now, they have the 5th best odds. I'm sorry, they have the 5th best odds for the number 1 overall pick according to Tankathon. So we know with the lottery, anything can happen there. But so those 2 guys did their thing, obviously there as well. Dude, let's talk about Sam Merrill real quick for a second. So I know we're kind of going through this, but I got to make mention. So February has been very good to Sam. He has been really, really good so far this month. I know he's had a couple single-digit scoring games, but the shooting has been awesome. He's been consistent. Tonight was terrific. Really, you can make the case, was probably the best player on the team tonight. 16 points, 2 rebounds, 2 steals, was 4 of 10 from 3. And I know you being the plus minus guys are going to bring up the fact that he was a -2, and I understand that. But I thought he was great. And I thought that, and what we've seen from him, this consistent play throughout the month of February so far has been really, really good.
I can take a negative box minus if you're contributing at a high level in other spots. So he has been contributing at a high level in his shooting. Sure, maybe a little bit more of a liability in defense in tonight's game. But we've seen Sam Merrill play hard on defense. We've seen him be able to turn it on. The thing that we need the most from Sam Merrill is his shooting.
Yep.
So to see good shooting numbers after probably a horrific lull there in probably December, January stretch, it feels really good to see Sam Merrill contributing and shooting at the high caliber that we not only expect from him, but definitely need from him.
Yeah, especially, we can kind of say the same thing about Max Strus. I thought he was also very good tonight. 14, 5, and 6 was 4 of 10 from 3 as well. Was just a really good night, especially considering he missed Monday. It was a late scratch with the ankle injury, and then came back tonight and played really well. I don't know, dude. I think it must be the hair. It must be the hair and the headband thing, because it's working for him. And my wife actually told me that because of the beard and the long hair that I almost kind of look like him. And I said that I will take that.
I think he's got the barber or the money for a high-end barber. But yeah.
I have a great barber, thank you. But
I'm sure he pays more for haircuts than you and I have paid in our lifetime.
Accurate.
One question I had is, like, if you look at the minutes tonight, with the addition of Hunter, it seems like how am I trying to phrase this? Hunter is going to get 27, 25, 28 minutes a night. That's what Max Strus pretty much gets, 25, 28 minutes a night. So you have like a little more, another consistent person eating those minutes. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering how the rest of them kind of play out once we get, a Dean Wade and Isaac Okoro back. For reference, between Amani Bates, Tristan Thompson, Luke Travers, that's 4, 8, 12 minutes that can be eaten up by Dean Wade. Jalen Tyson, 17 minutes. You probably get those Dean Wade, but then, how many minutes are you taking away from Sam Merrill, especially if he's shooting as well as he is?
Good problems to have, for sure.
Great problems to have. I'm glad that's with Kenny's problems.
Yeah. You're right, because Isaac Okoro is going to play for this team, obviously, and I still suspect that when he comes back, he'll be penciled right back into that 5th starter role.
Really?
I do.
Wow.
It might take him a little bit to get there, but as far as being the best perimeter defender on the team, besides Mobley, I think that it's just going to be something where, and I think Hunter's played really, really well at defense so far. You can really see his length kind of really coming in the play, but I think Hunter's best role is coming off the bench. I just not hit my microphone with my foot, so I apologize if the audio was a little wonky there. So I mean, but like I said, and like we talked about with Justin yesterday, starting doesn't really matter.
Right.
Are you on the floor when the game matters the most? Like, it's what's the most important, and I think that's where DeAndre Hunter is going to probably get those games more often than not. But also, like I said, if Max Strus is shooting really well, or Sam Merrill shooting really well, or
no Ty Drum tonight, also.
Yeah, he was out tonight, so you have a lot of options in crunch time to kind of pair with the core four guys. So this is fun, man. It's a lot of really good problems to have, and I'm really excited the acquisition of Hunter and what he's going to be able to bring to kind of give this team that flexibility.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd put Okoro as the 5th starter. That, to me, I think he's probably 7th in the rotation. I think he probably slides behind Hunter and Strus, because I think those two guys are the most interchangeable, depending on matchup or anything. And I would, if I had to put press on it, I would probably press Hunter in that 5th spot. But I do think Okoro, I mean, the front office has made it clear that Okoro is a piece of this future. They believe in him. They need him. When we talked to Spencer Davies, he mentioned how, like, not only is he the guy on the floor that the Cavs really enjoy having, he's also the guy in the locker room that the Cavs really enjoy having. So I think he's, he definitely is a piece of this core.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's a really good fit for them as well. So it's gonna be really nice. I mean, otherwise, game wise, it's not a whole lot to talk about when the score the way it is. But I know Mitchell didn't have his most consistent shooting tonight, but still led the league with 21 points. Garland 15-8 tonight, shot the ball really well. Besides from 3, it was 1 of 8. But hey, man, they got another win. They got 44 of them things going into the All-Star break. 44-10, pretty wild.
I know we talked, and Kevin's been a big proponent of this, but like, at what point of the season do you have to be ahead of Boston with a large enough gap for them to just kind of, take their foot off the gas, rest some guys to accept that they're second seed and wave the white flag?
Yeah, because they're going into the break 5 games up.
5? I thought it was 5.5.
Is it 5.5? Did the Boston game go final tonight? Yep, 5.5. You're right. So regardless, I mean, a really nice cushion. And both teams are on a win streak right now too. So that plays a part in this. So I would probably say if they can get to that 7 to 8 range, especially because, I mean, let's be honest, there's 28 regular season games left.
It's a hard to get 7 games up with 27 games left.
Yeah, but that's really just a 1.5 game difference at this point from where we're at. So
yeah. I mean, yes, it is. When on with Kevin, we kind of took a look at what they're coming out of the break to, and it's kind of a gauntlet for the remaining part of the games. Brooklyn, Knicks, Memphis, Magic.
Can't say it's a gauntlet and start with Brooklyn. That's like
out of that.
That's level 1.
Yeah, you get a welcome back game in Brooklyn, but then you get the Knicks, Grizzlies, Magic, Boston.
Yeah, that's not fun. I think it's more likely they win all those games than they lose all those games. Not saying they will win or lose them all, but obviously that you have the competition, but you know who you are at this point, man, right? Like, things aren't going to change after the All-Star break. You're 54 games in, you've lost 10. You probably are likely to lose about 5 or 6 more at the current pace you're at. And by the way, if you go 65-17, it's still a pretty incredible regular season. So
yeah,
there's a lot to like about where they're at. I love when they play these tough games because I feel like they play really well in them. I mean, I know they had this stretch we talked about recently between the Oklahoma City games and the Houston games, but I think they're going to bounce back just fine, and I think they're going to be ready to go. And bringing bringing Hunter in to grow with the group they already have, I don't have concerns about that part.
Yeah, I think if you really look at it, the only game of those games that we lost that felt unwinnable was that second Oklahoma City game.
Yeah.
All the rest of them felt winnable. And, they came down to, fluky things that don't happen, like Darius Garland choking at the line at the end of a game. That stuff's not going to happen very often.
Right.
So I agree. I think they play really well against these teams. And as we've been harping on all season, they play really well against these teams while still keeping everyone's minutes low, which is not the case the other way around. Boston usually puts a 40 on Tatum and Brown whenever we play them.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not necessarily worried about anything there. I think they're going to be just fine. What a year they've had so far, obviously. The fact that we're talking about a team with 10 losses at the Allstar break. What a year to start, as we keep saying to ourselves, of all years we could have picked to start a damn Chaos podcast.
Hey,
we couldn't have done better.
Outside of maybe 2016.
I've said before, like the 17 team is better than the 16 team.
Yeah, but the 16 teams get a ring.
It does, but it did not start pretty.
No, it didn't. I remember that year.
Yeah, it did not start pretty, though it ended up being pretty great.
Yeah.
All right, dude. So let's talk about a couple things here now. We're at the Allstar break. And so I pulled up my good friends over at FanDuel to discuss some wagering here on the skills competitions on Saturday. So, and I figured you might get a laugh out of these. So we'll start, of course, with the 3-point contest. Dame Lillard is the favorite to win at plus 360. Darius Garland has the second longest odds to win at plus 600.
Really?
So ahead of him, Buddy Hield at plus 480, Tyler Hero at plus 550, Norman Powell plus 550, Jalen Brunson last at plus 750. Plus 600 for Garland is really nice value. I think I might take that.
To win? Yeah. I mean, I think I agree with the Dame Lillard piece. I don't know if I agree with any of those guys being ahead of Darius Garland this year.
I'm sorry, I lied. So Cam Johnson plus 900, Cade Cunningham plus 1100. Totally forgot Cade Cunningham was in the 3-point contest. But so Garland's in the middle of the pack betting wise. Norman Powell's been pretty great. He's had a pretty awesome shooting year. Buddy Hield is literally statistically a top 3-point shooter of all time by makes and takes. So has one of the greatest 3-point regular season shootings of all ever. So, and then Tyler Hero, who's been really, really good this year, but I don't know. I don't really see. So I like Garland at, you put 10 down, win 60. Why not?
Put 100 down, win 600. Come on.
I got a family, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would put money on it. I mean, yes, Buddy Hield has the career, behind him, but I don't know if he's having I don't know if anybody's really having a better offensive season than Darius Garland right now.
Yeah.
Being a 50-40-90 guy, I mean,
I agree.
Come on.
I agree. First round, over 23.5 plus 102, under 23.5 minus 136. So
he's definitely making it past the first round.
Yeah. 23.5. I mean, I think
you could build a parlay just on him winning. Like make it past the first round, make it past second round. Come on.
You sure can.
Really multiply your money there.
So obviously the dunk contest, Cavs don't have anyone, but it's Matt McClung as the odds-on favorite at minus 220. Modest Buzelis plus 650. Andre Jackson Jr. plus 650. Stephon Castle plus 800. 2 UConn guys in this. Interesting. I'm not going to lie to you, Skylar. I'm going to go with my guy, Modest Buzelis in this one. I'm feeling the rook winning the dunk contest.
What happened to the dunk contest, man?
Dude, seriously. Okay, I talked about this with a buddy today in a group text. This is the only reason Matt McClung is famous at this point. Like, we're so far removed from his Georgetown and Texas Tech career, and he's literally played 5 NBA games. Like, literally, for 3 different teams, mind you. The Lakers, the Bulls, and the Magic.
Yeah.
He just spends, and he's with the Sixers too. And he's just kind of like always in the G League. I am so sick of Matt McClung. I'm so sick of him because he's not an NBA player. Like, I understand that Derrick Jones Jr. when he was on a two-way with Phoenix, one of his first few years, got in the dunk contest and almost won. But he was an NBA player. He was just in the G League. Like Mac McClung is not an NBA player, so we need to quit rewarding him like he is one.
I just don't get it, dude. Like, I understand the players might not want to do it because it is a kind of a taxing event, especially players that are in contention. But like, why wouldn't a player that's on a non-contending team, throw your hat in? I'm trying to think of, I don't think Jordan Poole would be a good.
I mean, he just had 45 again tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I
mean, shots, right?
Yeah, exactly. He's a volume guy. But
that's one.
Put Scotty Barnes in there. Put Scoot in there. Put Denny or Denny Advia.
I don't think he's that kind of player.
What? Just to go enter a dunk contest? It's got to be better than McClung.
Yes, but Advia is not that athletic to where he could be in a dunk contest. I don't think he's gonna do anything that's gonna make you melt, like almost feel like you're melting your face off. But yeah, I mean, McClung obviously is, a one-trick pony, and it's made him a lot of money. I think in the 2 years he's won the dunk contest, each year the dunk contest paid more than his annual salary.
I believe it.
Yeah. So that brings us to the skills challenge, and hey, what a shock! Team Cavs, the odds-on favorite to win at plus 195. Mobley and Mitchell. Team Spurs plus 200. Team Warriors plus 290, and the Rooks plus 380. Obviously, FanDuel and the Block the Shot to Stop are feeling the same way here. We're not losing that. No way. Cavs aren't going down in that one.
That's the most skilled tandem you could have.
Yeah. We talked about this already. When the All-Star game was in Cleveland, the team Cavs which was a group of three at the time, and Allen, Mobley, and Garland won. So we're just going to keep the tradition alive, and we're going to win this one too. So
what's the difference this year with the skills challenge now that it's down to a 2-man?
No idea. I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to enjoy it, but no.
But they haven't said anything.
No. Why would they, Skyler? Why would they?
You think the league would want to, publicize the thing that's failing?
Yeah, for sure. I agree. And that brings us to the All-Star game, which I'll go ahead and read off the teams. As we know, both Mobley and Garland are on Kenny the Jet Smith's team, the Kenny Young Stars, along with Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, Anthony Edwards, Tyler Hero, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Jalen Williams. It's a nice roster. I feel like it just did the Austin Powers thing. Donovan Mitchell is on Charles Barkley's team, Chuck's Global Stars, with Giannis, Shea, Jokic, Şengün, Siakam, Kat, Wembanyama, and Trae Young. And then Shaq's OGs has Jaylen Brown, Steph Curry, Anthony Davis, who's being replaced by Kyrie Irving. Did I mention Trae? I did mention Trae Young was replacing on Barkley's team. Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, LeBron, Damian Lillard, and Jason Tatum. So, Skyler, I'm going to be honest here. I love all these teams. I'm very curious to see how this format plays out because it sounds very confusing still. I hate to say it, but I think I'm going to pick the guy who doesn't have any Cavs on his team. I think Shaq's team is going to take the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really love Chuck's team. He's got
it's all bigs and Mitchell.
It is all bigs. It's also all foreign players who historically don't care about the All-Star game. So you have a lot of guys like Jokic is not going to try. So I don't know. I like Kenny's team. I thought Kenny's team drafted a pretty
young
good
and
team.
athletic. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. The question I have, and it's not quite related to the All-Star game or anything, but 2 bigs went out and they replaced them with 2 guards.
I know.
I don't get it because if 2 bigs went out, you'd replace them with bigs, and that would open the doorway for Jared Allen getting in.
I agree. I mean, I completely agree because, granted, I flat out said that I thought that Kyrie Irving should have been an All-Star in the first place, and he did get to be one here, which I'm happy for him. But By the way, NBA.com on Western Conference Reserve still has Anthony Davis listed as a member of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Oof.
Yeah, might need to edit that. And also there's the G League team, which I haven't seen their rosters yet, but I don't think they have anyone.
We would have seen somebody.
Yeah.
If so.
But yeah, I hate it because I feel like Jarrett really got spurned in this. And I thought Jarrett for sure should have been there. He's been a starter on the best team. And I understand how hard it is for a team to get 4 All-Stars. Like, it's really, really hard. But, like Trae Young is built for an All-Star game, right? He's not built to win like real things that matter. So same with LaMelo Ball. Like, they're just like there to win All-Star. Their game is designed to play in the All-Star game. So
you were going to get us so many hate comments.
Bring it. Actually,
you're not wrong, though.
The comments have been very nice of late. They've been very, very kind. I've really appreciated it. We had one the other day that went back and found like the second Thunder game, and they were like, "You guys are legit. You guys know what you're talking about. I don't know how you don't get more views." And I was like, "My man, I appreciate you."
Nice. I missed that one.
Yeah.
No, you're right though about LaMelo Ball and Trae Young. Like, they feel like players for flash and show versus winning.
Yeah, they're incredibly fun to use in like NBA 2K, but that can only get you so far.
That gets you NBA 2K championships. What do you mean?
Yeah, true. True.
Yeah, I feel bad for Jared Allen. I'm, kind of leaking the secrets here. During the All-Star break, we're going to be doing kind of a how the Cavs were built. And I have kind of a long piece on Jared Allen and in that sense, more overdoing the trade, but also just talking about, like, to me, when they got Jared Allen was really when this team started to go.
Yep, for sure.
Like, he's the bedrock of the core. And you want to see him get his flowers. You want to see him get the things that he's deserved and earned. And it sucks.
It does suck, man, because I do think he should have been there. I do think he'll be there next year. I think he's going to use this as a little bit of a chip on his shoulder.
I hope so. I mean,
he's like the nicest human being alive in basketball.
He is such a nice guy. And that's the other thing I wanted to point out with tonight's game. It seems like these guys, like, even in blowouts, like, these guys are all cheering. Like, when Imani Bates hit a 3, they get Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell are jumping off their seats on the bench, like cheering the guy on. Yeah. The Tristan Thompson, the first dunk, not the one that set everybody off, but when he got in, everybody's hopping. Donovan Mitchell was getting dunks, and Jared Allen's like just big old cheesing up there. Like, these guys are just having legitimate fun and seem like they just legitimately like each other.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of fun to watch. It's a great team to watch on a nightly basis. So what are you going to do with your time off besides we got the one show we're going to do? But other than that, I mean, what are you going to do in your free time?
Probably be a dad.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of time we got to make up to our wives for.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, they let us do this. They understand. So this is not like anti-wife material, but
not one bit.
Very thankful for them.
Absolutely.
I don't know about yours or Kevin's house, but my wife holds it down over here.
Yeah, absolutely. What's that, Jim? Was it Jim Gaffigan, the joke about like the dad is like the backup quarterback?
Yeah.
That's
no,
me.
Like, you're on the team, but when you get put into the game, like, everybody's kind of nervous.
Yes. Yeah, that's a pretty good. That's a good one. That's a really nice bit. But yeah, all right. Well, hey, with that being said, we're on vacation now.
Kick your feet up.
Yeah, rest your feet. I don't know. Drink your favorite bourbons. Enjoy your time. But yeah, we are going to go ahead and wrap this episode up. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. And so the first bit, I know the All-Star break is not super long. We'll be back obviously for the Brooklyn game next week. But we're going to enjoy the All-Star break. We're going to have that really fun show about how the Cavs were built. So be sure to keep an eye out for that as well. And then we're going to still be here trucking along. So on behalf of Skylar Webker and Kevin Lynch, this is Tim Daniel saying have a good night, and we will see you all soon.
Go Cavs.